Chosen one, your wisdom has always set you apart. It is not the kind of wisdom that comes from books alone, but the kind that is born from pain, from experience, from spiritual refinement. This wisdom shines so brightly that it exposes the foolishness of those who mocked you, underestimated you, or thought they could belittle you. They laughed once, but now their laughter has turned to silence, and silence to tears. Because the truth has been revealed. What they once dismissed as weakness has proven to be divine strength. What they once thought was your downfall has turned into your rising. Before we go deeper, stay with me until the very end of this message, because it holds something powerful for your spirit. And if this resonates with you, write in the comments your warmest wishes and the number 144. This is not just a gesture. It is a way of energizing the universe, releasing faith, and aligning your heart with miracles. Every word you write carries energy, and that energy returns to you multiplied. Now, chosen one, show your light by liking this video and subscribe to the channel, and let's step into this together. Now understand this. Your wisdom was never meant to blend in. It was meant to stand out. This is why your path was different, why your trials were unique, why your lessons came with a price others did not have to pay. They had the comfort of ignorance, but you carried the weight of knowledge. They had the ease of following the crowd, but you carried the burden of walking alone. That was not punishment. It was preparation. The wisdom you have now is forged through fire, and fire refines. And because you chose not to break, you have become the living evidence that wisdom is greater than arrogance. They cry now because what was once hidden is now revealed. They cry because the very people who dismissed you now must sit in the discomfort of knowing they were wrong. They cry because they see that your silence was not ignorance, but restraint. Your patience was not weakness, but discipline. Your humility was not naivety, but strength under control. Chosen one, their foolishness is exposed, not because you tried to expose it, but because the truth always comes to light. Wisdom cannot be hidden forever. Your life has become a mirror, and when they look into it, they are forced to confront themselves. That is why their spirit is unsettled in your presence. They are reminded of the shortcuts they took, the lies they believed, the pride they embraced. Your wisdom convicts their foolishness without you even speaking a word. This is why some avoid you, why some envy you, why some pretend not to see you. But deep down, they know. They know the tables have turned. They know the light shines on you. And yet, chosen one, you must be careful. For not all tears are real. Some will cry because they regret, while others will cry because they have been caught. Some will cry because they truly wish they had listened, while others will cry because they lost the power to manipulate you. This is why discernment is key. You cannot be moved by every apology, every plea, every display of sorrow. Wisdom is not only knowing the truth, it is also knowing what to do with it. You are stepping into a season where your wisdom will open doors. People who once ignored your voice will now seek your counsel. Those who thought they were above you will now try to sit at your table. And though this may look like vindication, remember, wisdom is also restraint. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Not everyone should be invited into your space. What you carry is precious. Guard it, protect it, honor it. Because your wisdom is not just yours, it is a divine gift meant to guide, to build, to uplift, and to glorify the one who gave it. Chosen one, understand this. When your wisdom exposes foolishness, it is not your battle to fight. It is simply truth unfolding. And when truth unfolds, there is no argument, no lie, no disguise that can stand. Let them cry, let them grieve, let them wrestle with what they see. That is not your burden to carry. Your role is to keep shining, to keep moving, to keep living as the chosen one you are. Chosen one, wisdom does not shout. It speaks softly, yet its echoes shake the walls of deception. Those who mocked you thought their noise was louder than your silence. They believed that volume meant victory, but time has proven otherwise. Wisdom has no need for theatrics. It simply waits for the right moment. And when the truth finally reveals itself, it pierces deeper than any insult, sharper than any lie. That is why they are unsettled now. Their confidence was built on sand, while yours was rooted in stone. They thought you were standing still, but in reality, you were being fortified. Your wisdom has become a light they cannot ignore. You are like a lantern placed in a dark room. No matter how much they squint, no matter how much they turn away, the light still exposes what is hidden. This is why some now look at you with unease. Your presence makes them uncomfortable because it confronts what they refuse to admit. They cannot cover their mistakes when you stand near. They cannot disguise their deception when your discernment enters the room. And though they may smile outwardly, inwardly they are shaken, for they realize that the mask of their foolishness has fallen. But here is what you must understand. Their foolishness being exposed is not for your entertainment, nor is it for revenge. It is for clarity. It is so that the truth may separate what is real from what is false, what is solid from what is shallow, what is genuine from what is pretended. You were never called to live in confusion, and wisdom ensures you don't. The tears they cry are not your responsibility. They are the natural consequence of lies meeting light. Chosen one, wisdom also carries a responsibility. When you see their foolishness laid bare, you must not allow pride to creep into your heart. Remember, wisdom is a gift, and gifts are meant to be stewarded with humility. You are not better than them. You are simply further along in the journey. You did not receive wisdom because you were perfect. You received it because you were willing. Willing to listen, willing to grow, willing to be broken and reshaped. That willingness has made you powerful, and it is what separates you from those who rejected correction. This is why, even now, some will still not learn. They will see their foolishness, feel the sting of exposure, and instead of humbling themselves, they will harden their hearts. Do not be surprised when they double down on their pride. Do not waste your energy trying to convince those who are determined to stay blind. Your job is not to drag them into wisdom. It is to keep walking in yours. Those who truly want to grow will come willingly. They will see your light and be drawn to it, not out of envy, but out of hunger for truth. Those are the ones you can pour into. And as you walk in this wisdom, understand that it is also your shield. Foolishness thrives on manipulation, but wisdom cannot be manipulated. Foolishness survives on chaos, but wisdom thrives in order. Foolishness builds on lies, but wisdom rests on truth. This is why no matter how they try, they cannot entangle you in the same nets they set for others. Your discernment cuts through the web. Your understanding reveals the trap before you step into it. Your insight sees beyond the surface, and because of this, they cry, not just from regret, but from the realization that their weapons against you no longer work. Do not underestimate the power of what you carry, chosen one. Wisdom is wealth greater than money, power deeper than influence, strength stronger than armies. It opens doors no man can shut, and it shuts doors no enemy can open. You were entrusted with it because you endured what others could not. They gave up where you pressed on. They mocked where you prayed. They laughed where you stood in silence. And now, wisdom has elevated you to a place their pride cannot reach. So let them cry, chosen one. Let their tears be their lesson. You do not need to gloat. You do not need to prove a point. Wisdom already speaks louder than any words you could say. Your life itself is the evidence, the fruit of your choices, the peace in your spirit, the doors opening before you. All of it testifies that wisdom will always outlast foolishness. Chosen one, when wisdom begins to operate in your life, it creates separation. Not because you asked for it, but because truth divides. Those who built their identities on deception cannot walk comfortably with one whose steps are guided by light. This is why some people have quietly distanced themselves from you, and others have loudly attacked you. Both are responses to the same thing. Your wisdom reveals what they would rather keep hidden. Understand this. Wisdom is not just knowledge. It is the marriage of experience, insight, and divine guidance. Many people possess knowledge, but they lack understanding. They can memorize words, repeat information, and even sound convincing. But when it comes time to live what they know, they collapse. Wisdom, however, is lived truth. It is applied knowledge that endures. And that is what frustrates them. Because while they were busy performing, you were transforming. While they were chasing applause, you were chasing growth. While they were polishing their image, you were refining your spirit. And now, chosen one, the results cannot be denied. They may not like it, but they cannot ignore it. Your decisions carry weight. Your silence speaks volumes. Your presence shifts rooms. Even when you say nothing, wisdom echoes from your being. And because they cannot replicate it, they resort to envy. Foolishness always tries to imitate wisdom, but imitation collapses under pressure. That is why their plans fall apart while yours endure. That is why their alliances crumble while your foundation stands. But take heed. Your wisdom is not just for you. It is a tool that will guide you to your destiny, yes, but it is also a torch for others who are ready to step out of foolishness. There are those watching you now, secretly learning from your steps. They may never tell you, but your journey is teaching them. Every time you refuse to compromise, every time you respond with discernment instead of impulse, every time you choose stillness over chaos, you are showing them a higher way. And one day, some of them will rise because they followed your example, even in silence. This is why you cannot afford to lower yourself to the level of those crying over their foolishness. Their tears are not your responsibility, but your wisdom is your assignment. Guard it. Protect it. Do not cheapen it by arguing with those who cannot comprehend it. Do not waste it by casting it before those who will only trample it. The foolish cry not because they lacked access, but because they lacked willingness. You cannot change that. What you can do is continue to rise, continue to walk in wisdom, continue to honor the path you were chosen for. The cries you hear now are not signs of your cruelty, but of their conviction. They are finally facing the reality that wisdom cannot be mocked, and truth cannot be erased. And as you keep moving forward, more will be exposed. Not because you tried, but because wisdom has a way of pulling back every curtain, revealing every mask, and setting the record straight. Chosen one, wisdom requires stewardship. It is not enough to carry it. You must know how to handle it. Wisdom can open doors, but it can also expose you to eyes that are watching with ill intent. Some will recognize the light in you and honor it, but others will seek to drain it, twist it, or silence it. This is why you cannot afford to walk carelessly. You must protect your wisdom like a priceless treasure, for it is. You will notice that not everyone deserves access to your voice. Some conversations are beneath the level of your calling. You will be tempted at times to defend yourself, to explain your choices, to justify your discernment. But do not waste energy in battles where victory gains you nothing. Silence is often the loudest proof of wisdom. Those who accuse will eventually reveal themselves. Those who doubt will eventually see the fruit. You don't need to lower yourself into mud when your destiny is in the sky. Remember this: wisdom will demand separation. It will call you to walk away from certain circles, decline certain invitations, and distance yourself from those who cannot handle truth. It may feel lonely, but it is purposeful. Every step of separation protects the purity of the path you are on. Not everyone can walk where you walk. Not everyone can carry what you carry. And not everyone can handle what your wisdom exposes. Let them cry if they must. It is not your responsibility to comfort the consequences of their choices. At the same time, wisdom is a double-edged gift. While it exposes the foolishness of others, it also calls you to look inward. Do not let pride rise up as their tears fall. Do not mistake their downfall as your superiority. Wisdom humbles as much as it elevates. You were not chosen because you were better. You were chosen because you were willing. Willing to learn, to endure, to be refined. This humility will keep you grounded, even when others crumble around you. And chosen one, understand this: wisdom is generational. What you carry is not only for you, but for those who will come after you. Your words, your decisions, your steps. These will serve as blueprints for others. Even those who cry today will one day recall how you carried yourself and learn from it. Your legacy is being written not just in victories, but in how you navigate exposure. Handle it well, for you are not simply living, you are leading. Chosen one, your wisdom does not simply affect individuals. It shifts entire environments. When you walk into a room, the very atmosphere changes, because wisdom carries a vibration that cannot be denied. Those who once dismissed you may suddenly fall silent, realizing that the words they spoke in ignorance no longer hold weight against the evidence of truth. You do not need to argue. Your presence itself testifies. People who once positioned themselves above you may begin to stumble, not because you fought them, but because your wisdom revealed the weakness in their foundation. Lies collapse when truth stands in the light. Deception loses its grip when wisdom is present. That is why some cry, not only because they were exposed, but because they now face the reality that what they built cannot last. And here is the power in your position. Wisdom does not only expose foolishness, it elevates those who honor it. There are silent watchers, chosen one, people who have been observing you from a distance, weighing your words, testing your consistency. They may never say much, but they see. And when wisdom proves itself, it draws them closer, often in ways you do not expect. Some will seek counsel, Others will seek partnership, and some will align themselves with your journey simply because they recognize the divine clarity you carry. But take caution. Exposure attracts both supporters and pretenders. Just as truth illuminates hidden allies, it also draws out hidden enemies. Some may approach you with flattery, masking envy with kind words. Others may attach themselves to your light, not because they love you, but because they crave what you carry. This is why discernment must be sharpened. You cannot assume every open hand is a gift. Some are traps in disguise. Your wisdom is not for entertainment, it is for impact. Do not waste it in places where ears are deaf and hearts are hard. Do not cast it into conversations that seek only to mock or belittle. Your wisdom must be stewarded with care, because what you carry is divine currency. Every word you release has the potential to shift lives, to dismantle lies, to strengthen the weary, and to awaken the blind. Handle it with reverence, chosen one. For this is no ordinary gift. Chosen one, wisdom is not passive. It is an active force that changes the course of destiny. When wisdom enters a life, it does not leave things as they are. It realigns, restructures, and redefines everything. That is why those who once underestimated you now find themselves in shock. They cannot understand how you moved from overlooked to undeniable, from questioned to sought after. What they fail to see is that it was not merely effort. It was wisdom guiding every step. Your wisdom is a key that opens doors no man can shut. When you speak, it carries weight beyond the natural. The foolish may laugh, but their laughter soon turns into silence when the fruit of your wisdom manifests. You did not need to fight for recognition. Wisdom itself fought for you. This is why their tears flow now, because their mockery has returned to them as regret. But your wisdom is not only a tool for your own advancement. It is a mantle that carries responsibility. It positions you as a lighthouse in a world filled with confusion. People will seek you not because of fame or wealth, but because they recognize that your words bring clarity where there was chaos, direction where there was disorder, and light where there was darkness. You have been entrusted with something rare, and it must be carried with humility. The tears of those who once opposed you are not the final picture. They are merely proof that wisdom always reveals what is true. Some of them will learn from their mistakes and come to respect you. Others will harden their hearts further. But chosen one, do not let their reactions sway you. Your assignment is not to please men. It is to walk faithfully in the wisdom you have been given. And this wisdom is not just for today. It is generational. Your words and actions are leaving footprints in time. You are planting seeds that will grow long after you are gone, shaping lives, families, and even nations. The foolishness of others may cry in the moment, but the impact of your wisdom will echo for years to come. Chosen one, wisdom has a way of elevating you even when you are not seeking a platform. True wisdom carries authority, and authority cannot be hidden for long. It rises to the surface, commanding recognition not through force, but through undeniable evidence. This is why, without chasing position or power, you are being placed in roles of influence. Leadership comes to you not because you demanded it, but because people cannot deny the light you carry. In the past, you may have been ignored in rooms where your voice was needed. You may have been dismissed as too young, too inexperienced, or too different. Yet wisdom kept shaping you in silence, preparing you for the moment when doors would open on their own. Now, those same rooms cannot function without your presence, because the solutions they once overlooked are the very ones they now desperately need. But chosen one, with leadership comes pressure. When wisdom places you above, eyes turn to you, not just in admiration, but in scrutiny. Every decision you make will be weighed. Every word you speak will be tested. This is not a burden meant to crush you. It is a sign that your influence has reached a level where your choices affect more than just yourself. You are now moving in spaces where lives depend on the wisdom you release. Those who once mocked you will find themselves coming for counsel. Those who once laughed at your insights will sit silently, waiting for you to speak. Their tears are not just from shame, but from the realization that what they thought was foolishness was in fact wisdom that could have saved them earlier. This reversal is part of your elevation. It is proof that wisdom never bows to foolishness. Foolishness will always bow to wisdom. And yet, remember this: leadership through wisdom is not about dominance, but about service. You are not called to lord over others, but to guide, to protect, and to open paths where others see none. Your wisdom is the torch, and those around you are simply seeking light to walk through their own darkness. This is why humility must remain your anchor. Without it, wisdom can turn into arrogance, and arrogance will eventually destroy what wisdom built. The very tears of your opposers are signs of transition. They are no longer laughing. They are learning. They are no longer mocking. They are watching. Some will join your journey. Others will continue in bitterness. But the truth remains. Your wisdom has shifted the balance, and leadership is now your portion. Chosen one, wisdom not only elevates, it shields. When you walk in true understanding, you are not easily trapped by the snares of envy or manipulation. Those who plot against you will find themselves ensnared by their own schemes because wisdom illuminates the hidden paths before they are even revealed. What others call luck in your life is not luck at all. It is the foresight of wisdom protecting you from roads that lead to destruction. Many will approach you with flattering words, disguising envy as admiration, or cloaking ill intentions behind smiles. But the spirit of discernment working with your wisdom will expose the motives of hearts. You will see beyond faces and hear beyond words. You will recognize when support is real and when it is a mask. This is why some fear you, not because of what you say, but because of what you see. Understand that when wisdom elevates you, it also separates you. You cannot walk closely with everyone, for not all can handle the responsibility of being near a chosen one. Some connections are seasonal, others are dangerous, and wisdom helps you know the difference. Even in relationships, wisdom will show you who is meant to walk beside you and who is meant to observe from a distance. Your opposers, the very ones who mocked you, may now try to draw close, but not every tear of regret is genuine. Some cry only because they were exposed. Some cry not from repentance, but from humiliation. And wisdom will teach you to respond with mercy, but not naivety. Forgive, but do not forget the lesson. Show compassion, but do not lower your guard. This protective power of wisdom is what keeps you stable in environments where envy brews. It equips you to lead without being devoured by the same systems that destroyed those before you. While others stumble into traps, you will step over them, guided by the unseen hand that aligns with your discernment. Chosen one, wisdom is your shield, your compass, and your weapon. It is what exposes the darkness, disarms the envious, and silences the schemes of the foolish. This is why your enemies cry, because nothing they do can overthrow what has been built on wisdom. Chosen one, wisdom does not only defend, it expands. Every attack you endured, Every insult they hurled, every scheme they formed against you, has been transformed into a stepping stone for your rise. Wisdom takes what was meant to bury you and turns it into the very soil that nurtures your growth. Where they expected you to stumble, you discovered a strategy. Where they expected you to break, you found strength. This is why your influence multiplies even in the presence of opposition. The foolish thought they were fighting you, but in truth, they were building your testimony. They thought they were closing doors, yet every slammed door taught you to build your own entrance. They thought they were silencing you, yet every silence sharpened your voice. That is the irony of their resistance. It became fuel for your advancement. When wisdom leads, even betrayal becomes a revelation. Even rejection becomes redirection. And even the cruelty of others becomes confirmation that you were never meant to stay in small spaces. Those who laughed at you will soon witness your rise not as an accident, but as evidence of divine orchestration. They cry now because they realize their actions were powerless to stop what was destined. Understand this: wisdom attracts visibility. The more you walk in it, the brighter your light becomes. And the brighter your light shines, the harder it is for the foolish to hide in shadows. This is why some people feel exposed simply standing near you. Your clarity confronts their confusion. Your calm unsettles their chaos. Your growth reminds them of their stagnation. Without saying a word, your presence speaks volumes. Chosen one, never underestimate the ripple effect of your wisdom. It not only silences the voices of those who mocked you, it also inspires those who watch silently from afar. Many are learning from you without ever telling you. Many are being strengthened by the way you handled what was meant to destroy you. Your wisdom is not just for your survival. It is for the transformation of everyone who comes into contact with your journey. This is why your influence cannot be contained. It spreads, it multiplies, and it endures. What your enemies meant for harm has become a platform for wisdom to shine. They cry because they see the truth. Your rise is not built on noise, but on wisdom, and wisdom cannot be undone. Chosen one, wisdom does more than protect. It builds legacy. The foolish may rise and fall in the cycle of noise, but wisdom leaves an imprint that cannot be erased. When you walk in wisdom, your life becomes a blueprint. It becomes a manual for those who come after you, teaching them how to navigate storms, how to rise above betrayal, how to transform pain into power. Your wisdom becomes the inheritance that wealth alone could never provide. Those who once mocked you may vanish into the background, but the lessons you've lived will continue to echo through generations. That is why the spotlight is not just on your present, it is on the trail you are leaving behind. People may try to dismiss your words, but they cannot deny the results. They may try to ignore your example, but they cannot escape the fruit it produces. This is why they cry, "Chosen one." It is not simply because they were exposed. It is because they realize they left no legacy of their own. Their foolishness birthed nothing but regret, while your wisdom birthed impact. Their noise fades quickly, but your wisdom endures. Their name dissolves in shadows, but yours is being carved into light. Understand this: wisdom is the seed of immortality. While your body will one day pass, the wisdom you live out and pour into others will outlast you. It will move through your family, your community, your generation, and even strangers you will never meet. This is why wisdom is priceless, because it outlives applause, envy, and even opposition. Chosen one, walk boldly knowing that your wisdom is not wasted. Every sacrifice, every choice, every moment you leaned into discernment instead of impulse has secured a future that shines beyond the present moment. They cry because they see what they can never undo. The impact of your wisdom is eternal. And when that moment comes, chosen one, you will realize that the tables were never turned by your hands, but by the unseen hand of wisdom guiding your steps into a destiny no one can deny.